are getting is in fact mediated reality, and we are connected to the broader humanity through communication channels. If we keep the technology apart, then we have reached to the similar stage like the traditional society. In traditional society, the society was characterized by close relationship with other human beings, fellow human beings. So, with the advent of technology, now it has become possible to be connected with the people who are separated due to time and space. The technology is here, and there are digital echo chambers, information cocoons. Sometimes we can use them for our betterment. Obviously, functions of media we all know, but if we don't use media properly, if we don't use technology properly, then there are dysfunctions as well. But if we wish, now we can be connected with other people, just like in the traditional society, with the help of the traditional, thoughts, but modern technology. So, media comes here very pertinent to us, inseparable, just like air and water, and philosophy becomes more relevant. Since we have to be connected with different kinds of people, like the very concept of multiculturalism, that was very common to us. Like if you see the place, Khanda, the society was characterized by multiculturalism, is evident in our constitution. The society is multi-religious, multi-ethnic, multilingual, and so on. So that was so in our part since time immemorial. But there were other societies which were mainly constructed on the basis of ethnicity or language. So exclusive societies. But with the advent of technology, with the development of global economics, let us say, and with mass migration, virtually all societies have become multicultural societies. But they don't have experience of living with multiculturality. So, it is here we can offer our experiences. We have experiences of millennia living in multicultural society, having tolerance of different religions, coming from different cultural backgrounds, speaking different languages, yet developing a kind of solidarity among us. So this value is very important for the contemporary society. Otherwise, there will be conflict. We have been observing through television, through digital networks. There are many places in the world where people are constantly engaging in conflict and wars. Why? Why wars are happening? Why people are in conflict? Because they are not communicating pertinently. So communication, as all of us know, is the solution of all kinds of problems. If we communicate properly, then conflict resolution and peacemaking is possible. So, but how to communicate? It's deeply philosophical question. Okay? We communicate. Knowingly or unknowingly, we all communicate, and all of us know it is not possible to not communicate. Knowingly, unknowingly, voluntarily, involuntarily, we have to communicate. We have been communicating. But if we have deeper insight, substantiated by philosophy, then we would be better communicators. We will be able to understand why people communicate communicate in the way they are communicating. Why miscommunication is happening? What are the causes for miscommunication? How we can overcome those causes of miscommunication? So this is why the theme for the ongoing seminar is seminar on philosophy, communication and media. We communicate through media, we communicate with philosophical understanding. And if we can do this, we are not only going to better solve ourselves, but the like global society as well. All of us know discourse is power. There is famous saying in Nepali, अर्जुन का धनु मकिसके व्यास का बाणी मौलाउँदैछ. So Arjun, obviously he was victorious in the war, but where is he? Whether he is like bows and arrows, we don't know. They have already decayed. But the words of Vyasa, they are still relevant. They are, in fact, they are getting more attention in the contemporary years. You can see people like reading, reciting or doing research on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Even in physics, you can see. The Vedic rishis, you can see, they have become more relevant. Buddha, Tirthankar, they all have become more relevant. Because as the human society progresses, conflicts are also inherent. Tensions, anxiety, all these things, they are also inherent part of competition. We are becoming more competitive means we are inviting more conflicts. There is more chances for like anxiety and all these things. And obviously, sometimes depression sets in. And what are the ways to overcome that? Philosophy will certainly give that light. And we have to communicate all this. So, publication is also a very important part of academia. You might have like at least heard our neighbors, China and India, they are putting a lot of emphasis on like publications. You all know the so-called modern society has become like unidirectional for like at least a couple of centuries. So the Western dominance is reality, isn't it? So sometimes that is why like democratization was criticized as Coca-Colanization, McDonaldization, isn't it? So there was a kind of psyche. West is the best psyche, which was dominant for decades. But people have already started critiquing that. Even the Westerners, they have realized that it is unbearable burden for themselves as well. They cannot claim like universalization of the West as they used to do during the colonial days and like right after the Second World War. So people are looking for and exploring indigenous concepts. They are developing new constructs, theoretical constructs. They are trying to like be part of the what is called race for theory. Because at least this August gathering knows that theory is the highest achievement of any discipline of knowledge. Be it physics, be it chemistry, be it mathematics, be it sociology, be it political science or economics. Theory is the highest achievement of that discipline. And theorization and theory building is not very easy. For that you shall have like sufficient maturity. And that maturity, intellectual maturity, comes through what was called Shastrartha in our tradition. What was Shastrartha? Shastrartha was discussion, a deep discussion on various disciplines of knowledge. People would like discuss without any hesitation, without any fear. That was ideal for philosophers like Immanuel Kant when someone asked him to define what is enlightenment, then he said, it is daring to know. Knowing is sometimes painful and always challenging. That is why enlightenment is founded on the basis of knowing. The same thing was told by the rishis, Buddha, Tirthankaras, all of them. Rite Jnanam Mukti. So without knowledge, there will be no liberation. That means liberation. Liberation of like physical world, liberation in the mental world, and even spiritual liberation. All of them are based on knowledge, pertinent knowledge. And from where the knowledge would come? Knowledge would come from like learning, sharing, and it is here communication becomes more pertinent. We all know there were many scholars who defined communication as a process of sending and receiving information. At that time the emphasis was on linear transmission of the message. But as they have realized, and as Bhartrihari had like realized 2000 years ago, communication is not only sending and receiving. Communication is in fact sharing. What can be shared? Obviously information can be shared, knowledge can be shared, our experiences can be shared, and the more we share our experiences, knowledge, information, the more like knowledge production, the more like enhancement of skills will be there. And how to make that sharing more systematic. In earlier times, you might have heard, like even the kings, good kings, let us say, they used to organize shastras. King Janak, the Mithila state, he ruled. Its capital is within Nepal. Okay? Even you might have heard Amshubarma, he had like this Kailasput palace, and he had a hall, a much bigger hall, which would consist of 10,000 people at once. Why did he need such a big hall? It shows that like there were gathering to discuss various things. So that is why the discussions, the shastra, the sharing of information, sharing of knowledge was there. That is why our part of the world was prosperous. You can cross-check the data. Even in the modern terms, like GDP, few centuries ago, these places like China, Tibet, Nepal, India, if you see, this happened to be a very prosperous region. Why? Because the primary importance was given to knowledge, Gyan. That is evident in, like, you can cross-check with any tradition. If you go to Kirat tradition, who are the most respected persons there? Muhiku Mangshima, who are they? They are gurus. If you go to like Bon tradition, who are the most respected persons? Tonpa. The latest Tonpa is Tonpa Sendap Nyoji. Okay? If you go to Buddhism, obviously Buddha, the enlightened one. Yeah? And in Jain tradition, Tirthankar, again, the enlightened one. Obviously in Vedic tradition, Rishi. Okay? Rishi is the common terminology. Sometimes Rishi and Rishika. Rishika word is also used for female rishis. You can see even today, in the like Veda Samhita, there are female rishis who actually saw the mantras, and that was the highest achievement of humankind. They are the most respected, as I compared Vyasa and Arjuna. Okay? So in our tradition, not kings, not rulers, not warriors, actually the persons who were having knowledge, who devoted their life for like knowledge dissemination, knowledge sharing, mentoring others, they were the most respected ones, and all others, they had to avoid her. But in due course of time, okay, maybe due to colonization, maybe due to constant invasion by others, that tradition became weaker. And the fall in the domain of knowledge witnessed fall in other areas as well. Economically backward, okay, educationally backward, and yeah, unemployment, even like working as mercenaries. Okay, so this happened. But with the advent of technology, now countries smaller in like geography, having little resources, natural resources, economic resources, they also can aim higher. Again, just like in traditional society, since information or knowledge has come to the center, it is possible even for individuals to lead the society. Probability factor is high. Like, who knows? Any tweet from your side, any short video from your side may be as viral as that of like any mega star, any global star. That's probability. And to make this systematic, the modern academia, they have devised certain ways. Seminars and conferences, workshops are like a means for that. In seminars, what we can do? Various people, like various persons, various individuals working in different areas, they can come together. They can share with each other what is actually happening in the respective fields. Just evident from the program schedule of this seminar, you can see, like I was informed that as many as 66 topics are to be presented. So, even listening to like others' presentations, that will immensely help the participants to get like acquainted with so many things. And as I emphasized earlier, dissemination is very important. Okay, so as the students and teachers of communication, we shall be thinking little bit differently from others. Others may hesitate to tell their own works, but for us, first we shall be convinced. If you cannot put your things, cannot present your things, why shall others? आफ्नो कुरो आफैले भन्न सक्दैन भने अरूले किन भन्ने? This is a completely different perspective. In our society, generally, if you start speaking about yourself, what would they say? अरूले तपाईं भन्नु कि नभन्नु आफै मफै हुने हो, and they would start discouraging you. But in the knowledge domain, that doesn't happen. Do you know who gave certificate to like Siddhartha Gautama as Buddha? Was there any institution for that? No. He claimed that. When Yajnavalkya went to the Janak Sabha, who said he was like Brahmavadi, Brahmagyani, he claimed that. When Ashtavakra entered into the like Raj Sabha, what other participants did? They laughed. And he said, oh, I have come to the place of Sama. And others became offended. What are you saying? He said, if you were not Sama, why would you see my body and laugh at me? If you were like scholars in reality, then you would certainly allow me to speak, to present myself. Only then you would evaluate me. And it is there, they realized their mistakes, and then he was given chance to present, and he proved that. Even today, Ashtavakra Gita is available. You can read. You can assess his level of like knowledge. So, in our part of the world, the ancient custom, when we were like ahead of others, when the civilization was the leading civilization, the custom was to speak about oneself, but not without sufficient preparation. Okay? We shall speak, but before that, we shall be well prepared. And as an institution, organizing such seminars are means to better prepare our students and scholars. So this is a kind of idiom. In our part of the world, the highest order of works, highest order of actions, activities, they are referred as yajna. This is Gyan Yajna. Okay? So, if you see, there is a kind of gathering, people are discussing, and if you see just by this standard, okay, it may be one of the many events. But if you try to evaluate how we are constantly engaged in communication and we are enriching ourselves philosophically and we are trying to use media for our betterment and for the betterment of the society. At least if you see just for the sake of employment, being better prepared is always a wise thing, isn't it? So I always see such seminars with high esteem. I highly value this, and I urge all of you to value such seminars, and obviously your presence here, your participation here obviously symbolizes that. I welcome you from the bottom of my heart, and I expect all of the participants will be actively engaged in this seminar. Like the presenters, they will be bombarded with so many questions, okay, so that they will get chance to refine them. Until and unless questions will be there, how the knowledge will be refined? Questioning is very important. Okay, so any advanced society would encourage questioning. Okay, in research, verification and falsification, they are very important. It is not that someone said something and you will blindly follow that. That is not the symbol of rationalism. That is not the symbol of logic. Okay, we need to question. We need to question ourselves. We need to question others, but not for the sake of criticism only, for the sake of knowledge share. And this is how we will be creating more opportunity for ourselves and more opportunity for others.